Hey everyone, it's Janelle and Brienne here. Today we wanted to share with you a total body conditioning workout with you guys. There will be 18 exercises and each exercise will have a different component as far as full range of motion, a pulse or going through that movement halfway, and then an isometric hold at the end. So keep watching if you're interested in changing up your routine and let us know how it goes. First exercise is a push-up, full range of motion, elbows by your ribs, and keeping that core engaged. Next, you're going to go into half range of motion. You can either start at the top or start at the bottom. Either way, you're keeping those glutes tight and that core tight. Last, you're holding that isometric hold. Awesome. Next, we're going into a Trx row. You're driving your elbows into the ground and going into that full range of motion. Next, you're going into a halfway row, really focusing on keeping that core tight and squeezing those shoulder blades behind you. Last, you're going into your isometric hold. You're squeezing those shoulder blades like you had a pencil tight in there. Next, we're going into a squat, full range of motion, sitting into those heels and squeezing those glutes at the top. From there, she's going to add a pulse, working on that booty, little pulses up and down. Awesome, Brienne. Then she's going to finish off with an isometric hold, really focusing on that icing on the cake, sealing it all in. Next, we're going into V-ups. Like you want to come up to your toes and then slowly come down where that lower back touches the floor. When we go into our pulses, it's almost like a toe touch. You're reaching for those toes, but still keeping your lower back pressed into the floor. Then you're going to hold your V hold. Now, if this doesn't treat you well, you can put your lower back on the floor and hold that way. Next, Brienne is going into lunges. We're going to a forward lunge first, stepping forward and making sure that back knee is dropping straight down to the ground. That way, your front knee doesn't go over those toes. Next, she's pulsing in a split lunge position and just dropping those hips up and down. Now, you can either do all the reps on your right side and then do your left, or you can alternate like Brienne's doing. Next, she's going to hold that lunge and squeeze those inner thighs together. Next, Janelle is going into chest presses, bringing those dumbbells into her armpit and then pressing up, keeping those elbows right by her ribs. When she goes into her half press, she's starting at the bottom and then coming up halfway, really feeling the tension in your chest. She's holding that isometric hold at the bottom. If that's too much, you can hold it at the top and it'll take some of the pressure off of your chest. Next, Brienne is going to anti-rotation band press, also known as a Palloff press, pressing that band straight out from her chest and coming back in. And she's fighting that rotation. That right hip will want to pull in, and she's not letting it. Next, she's adding a pulse and pivoting on that inside foot. You'll really feel this in that core. Now she's holding and embracing that core as tight as she can. Good job, Brienne. Next, we're going to a lateral step up. You're driving through your heel, squeezing that left cheek at the top, and then coming down nice and slow. Really focusing on driving through your heel and not your toes. For our pulse move, she's adding a hop at the top and coming back down nice and soft. So she's focusing on that deceleration. Last one, she's going into an isometric hold at the top. Next is a bicep curl on the suspension trainer, bringing her pinkies to her eyes and then releasing at the bottom. Then she's going into her halfway curl, just adding a little bit more contraction on the bicep. And then holding it all together with a bicep curl hold.
That bicep.
Next, Janelle is going into a bird dog. Opposite arm, opposite leg, knees coming into the opposite elbow, and then releasing back up. Good. For her pulse, she's adding a crunch in the middle, and then she's holding it all in. You can also make this more challenging by holding it out at the end range. Next, Brienne is going into a crossing lunge, crossing her knee behind the ankle, and then squeezing that left cheek at the top. Cross and lift. Next, she's going to add a pulse. And then she's adding that isometric hold. Leg lifts, legs lower down, and then coming back up. Keeping that lower back pressed down and those feet together. Feeling those abs contract. From there, we're going into a hip raise, lifting those heels to the ceiling. Last, going into a hollow body hold, sealing it all up. Next, we're going to a mini band hip press, driving through those heels, squeezing those glutes at the top, and then slowly releasing on the way down, up and down, keeping those knees apart. From there, she's adding a pulse. You're coming down about halfway and lifting back up. Pulse, pulse. Last, squeezing it together like you had a quarter in between those butt cheeks. Awesome. Next, we're going into banded broad jumps, landing soft like a cat, and then jogging back. Great job, Janelle. Awesome. From there, our pulse is going to be a band double hop. If it doesn't treat you well, you can just take that band off. From there, you're going into an isometric squat. Hold facing that anchor point. Next, Brianna is going into a side lunge with a press. The farther you press that ball away, the more challenging it'll be and really tax that core. So if it's too much, just keep it closer to your chest. Excellent. Next, she's holding that side lunge, but just focusing on that press. Hitting the right side and then hitting the left side. Then holding that ball away from you, keeping those shoulders relaxed and keeping that core tight. Next, Janelle is going into a band plank row. The key here is you want to focus on whatever arm you're working. You want to pull that hip down to the floor, so you're fighting that rotation. She's now adding that pulse, really feeling it in her deltoids and her lats, and she's holding. Next, Brianna is going into skaters, going side to side. Good, and focusing on that balance component. Next, her pulse is single leg hops, just going single leg in place. If that doesn't treat you well, then go ahead and hop with both feet. Then she's holding an isometric hold on the right side, and then she's hitting the left side. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe below. And if there's any other videos that you guys would like to see, please let us know. Bye, guys.